Hello there, and welcome to my car. I am all set to go for a nice little drive around the very calm driving scape. Nothing bad happens at all. Nope. But I thought I'd do a little driving practice, you know, sort of get my hands on a real car without any injuries involved. Not to enter the best game there is, Mario Kart. Specifically this one. I love this game quite a lot, and I thought I would go over all the tracks for it. Mainly because I'm going on holiday, and this is the only thing I could think of, and I knew how to talk about Mario Kart. Let's race.
So yes, today I'll be counting down the top 48 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks. And to preface this video, I just want to say these are all my opinions. You can have completely different ones, those are perfectly fine. Let's not waste any time. Let's begin with, to me, this is one of the most uncreative Mario Kart tracks out there. It's just a racetrack in the middle of a research center, I think. I don't like this one. I find it a real shame that I don't like this track because the music is superb, but I've lost too many races due to this last turn and the gimmicky pipes and this eel. I never really want to replay this one. I will listen to the theme on repeat though. This track is just okay to me. The alternate underwater paths seem to always be slower, and I've never been a big fan of the fact it seems to want to push the player down just one very thin pathway. I don't like this one. It's a raceway, it has balloons, and it's pink, but with the castle Easter egg fenced off, there's nothing really helping this track stand out from the rest of them. I'm not a big fan of desert stages, and yep, this is a desert track through and through. There's an oasis, but I'm so glad they fixed the traffic from the original N64 version, and I'm glad that they have these ramps you can glide off of, but get used to the cars, and it's essentially just a figure eight with traffic. It's not that exciting overall. I do love this race section of the track that they introduced, but this track feels a bit too basic aside from this for me to fully love it. I forgot this track was in the game. Huh. It's a fun track and a super neat throwback to Donkey Kong Country Returns, but the gimmicks it seemed to play with seem a bit too generic outside the aesthetics, and yeah, it's apparently very forgettable. Another quite forgettable track to me, at least in the original DS version. I feel it has improved here, but I'm still not the biggest fan of this track. They do utilise all of the abilities in this one track though, so hey, credit where credit's due. The idea of a disco-themed track is super neat, but I'm not sure why. The track layout just seems really forgettable to me. I'm not a big fan. Yep, still don't like desert stages. I will admit, for a desert track, it is pretty cool with the skeleton aesthetic that makes this unique, but I just don't like desert tracks, I'm sorry. It's passable, I guess? I don't have much to say for this one, but it is much improved of the SNES original, so I'll give it something. This has been remade twice now, and I'll admit, it's kinda a bit generic for me now. Sure, it's hard because there's no, edges to it, but I would have preferred a different Rainbow Roads, like Super Circuit or DS. The idea of driving through a subway with oncoming trains is super neat, although I do have to admit, this is one track that I've had a lot of problems for whatever reason. Sometimes I'll get hit by a train I had no chance of avoiding, and sometimes they'll block the camera from my view. Again, the concept is super cool, I just have personal problems with this one. The original Double Dash track is amazingly fun, as was the DS remake, as is this one. This would definitely be higher up if this hadn't already been remade, but regardless, this is a super fun stage. Twisted Mansion is certainly the most unique ghost-themed level we've seen in a Mario Kart track, but I do feel its layout is a bit cramped for racing for in certain places. Everything in this incarnation of Bowser's Castle is superb, and it feels like a combination of a lot of the things that made previous Bowser castles amazing, like the giant Bowser from Double Dash and the Bowser statues from the N64 one, but I think I would have preferred a few more unique aspects for this to be higher up on the list. The entire track feels like a really neat throwback to the original Super Mario Bros., And honestly, I'm on board with that idea. Although I really only like half of this track, the ending portion, especially the final part when you're outside, it's always felt a little off to me for whatever reason. Driving through an entire mountain made of sweets while dipping into, I want to say Pepsi here, for a cool refresher is just... oh, it's amazing, but I want cake now. It's Rainbow Road, it's in a space station, it's super cool, it just doesn't feel like a final track to me, and I'm not entirely sure why. Usually I love each of the Rainbow Roads, but this one didn't leave as much of an impact on me. It is super fun driving along trams, tricking off a nearby boat, and speeding down this final hill, and it feels exactly like a living, breathing town. This just highlights to me how much detail is put into each of Mario Kart 8's tracks. For simple as this track is, it just gets everything right with the beach theming. It really feels like a tropical escape, and I really need a holiday about now. You're driving across a piano, dodging giant quavers, and jumping across big tambourines. Do I need to explain why I like this one? I love the newfound aesthetic that's took place in Ribbon Road. It takes place in a kid's room, and I want all of their toys to be mine, and the entire track is just super fun and wavy to go through. This is just a blast all the way through. This is likely the first track you're greeted to when you first try out Mario Kart 8, and what an introduction. It feels just like driving through a Formula 1 racetrack, but with added anti-gravity flair. This track is iconic for featuring the number 8, appearing in Smash Brothers and the box art for the original Mario Kart 8, and I can see why. It's a fun course, especially trying to make these tight bends, but the piranha plants were a bit overkill in my opinion. Speed is the name of the game with this track, and the name of F-Zero, and mastering this track on 200cc will make you the talk of any high school reunion. Yoshi Valley's main gimmick is the fact that there's so many paths to choose. However, after a couple of playthroughs, you'll quickly realise there are only a few fast routes, and you'll only take them from then on. It's still a good track, but I wish they kinda kept the Nintendo 64 charm of not being able to track your exact position. An amusement park where the main theme is that it's underwater? That's really freaking cool. I just feel like they could have gone a little bit further than what they've actually produced, but regardless, it's a super fun track. This track never lets you waste a second. Within a couple of minutes, you'll have driven through an entire mountain, complete with a dam, a forest, and apparently the Winter Olympics. Huh. Cheeseland on the original Super Circuit could never live up to the fact that you're driving an entire world made of cheese. The HD upgrade helps us live out that dream that I'm sure we've had at least once, and the result is just a good a time. Animal Crossing is a fairly simple track, but the ability to play in any of the 4 seasons, each with a unique twist, makes this track super replayable. Although, now I want an Animal Crossing cart as well. The music, the atmosphere, the creativity, this track is absolutely incredible and asks the age-old question, why are these giant blocks of rock trying to kill me? Wario's Gold Mine is super frantic and maybe a little too difficult for some players to get through, but honestly Wario lives for chaos, and hey, chaos is fun. As a Zelda fan, the fact that I can play as Link, collecting rupees, hitting secret switches to unlock a shortcut, while dodging Deku Babas all the while riding a mechanical Epona? Yeah, I feel giddy every single time I play this track. I'm surprised there hadn't been a track in an airport before this, because it's just so unique and everything fits together perfectly in this track. Gliding underneath aircraft, taking off as you barely miss them is just super cool. I love all the small details this track hides in its layout. Now this was the track that convinced me that anti-gravity was just an amazing mechanic. You're driving up a waterfall, that's amazing! And the working Shy Guys making their little noises to the beats just adds so much overall. Come on, it's Moo Moo Meadows. It's relaxing, fun, and cheerful throughout. I'd be a monster to put it any lower. A combination of an F-Zero track mixed with a water slide, Big Blue is superb fun to race through, and the feeling of pure speed never really goes away. Baby Park is a no-nonsense, straight-to-the-point drift game. You don't go to this track to have fun, you go here to have grudge matches where the loser is never allowed in a theme park again. The idea of driving through a dragon as a racetrack was already a cool idea, but the fact that depictions of ancient Japanese culture are shown throughout the entire winding pathway just makes this one I love replaying. Mario Kart 8's rendition of TICK-TOCK clock barely resembles the original DS version, and while it may have lost the Mario 64 reference, everything looks so beautiful here, and it definitely has a more realistic, clocky design. Super precise corners, a futuristic aesthetic, and the rain throughout the track make this one of my favourite stages to return from Mario Kart 7, and it looks gorgeous in HD. Yeah, they didn't exactly change a lot from the original Wii incarnation, and this may just be nostalgia talking, but I love the feeling of racing through an active volcano. Less and less of the track is available towards the end of the race, making it seem like a race to the finish not only against your opponents, but the stage itself. CLOUDTOP Cruise just screams Gusty Garden Galaxy to me. Maybe the orchestral music, or maybe the sky-themed locations, maybe the vine leading you to the rest of the track, but regardless, this is an excellent stage to race on, and I cannot get enough of the music here. I find this track fun, I find the aesthetic to be outstanding, and I think it's a better version of the original N64 one, because it's more fast-paced. I know everyone's going to disagree with me, but I find this track just so much fun to play on. A track which pays homage to the original NES title while also being a unique layout every single time you play it? Yes please, I'll take multiple of those. And a new EXCITEBIKE game, please, and thank you, Nintendo. Wild Woods is such a unique stage, tasking you to climb up and down a very tall tree with a village inside of it, and just... I don't know why, but I love this stage. Every element of it seems so creative to me. The track layout is perfect for playing through repeatedly, and I've never grown tired of this stage. It's definitely my favourite track in all of Mario Kart 8.
So yeah, those are my top 48 tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm actually really excited to get another Mario Kart, but guess I'm good with the arcade one before then. In the meantime, got my key right here. It's time to race. I can't drive inside drift anymore. Just gonna have to run for it.